unleash the 340 brake horsepower. Woo. Flipping hell, this thing is quick. Let's just do a pull. You know, if someone says that an M140i is not a quick car, they're wrong, man. Totally wrong. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now I know I've not put up some content for a number of weeks. I think, as I said in one of my previous videos, I do get busy occasionally and I can only put out content as and when. And the other reason was that I was waiting on my new camera to arrive, which is this one, and you might have seen it on Instagram. I've been raving on about my new camera and that I'm going to be doing the next vlog on this new camera, so here we go. Now I thought, while I'm going to test out my new camera, I thought I might as well do a vlog on my car, and the kind of sketch of this vlog is going to be the things that I don't particularly like about my particular M140i. Now obviously this is quite a highly spec'd M140, but there are still a few niggly things about my car which I don't particularly like, so not in any particular order, but here we go anyway. Now the first thing that I don't like about my M140i is the steering. Now what I mean by that is that for a car that's got 340 odd brake horsepower and upwards, you don't get a huge amount of steering feel. Now that's partially to blame around the electronic kind of power steering. So before, like, most cars were hydraulic, so you'd get a much more kind of a connected feel to the road. With my M140i, and I guess it's the same with like all M140i's anyway, you don't get a huge steering feel. Now for example, like, you turn the car into a corner and something happens between the steering wheel and the steering rack, and the car obviously turns, but you don't get that feedback, and that is quite necessary when you've got like 340 brake horsepower and you're going around a nice country road. You know, you just don't get that in modern day cars, and I guess, you know, the Euro emissions regulations has something to do with that, because obviously cars these days are becoming more and more you know, efficient to you know, to the environment, and one way of reducing those emissions is by putting more electronic gizmos in rather than hydraulics or whatever that might be. So that's one thing I don't like, and it's quite up there actually in terms of my list, and the reason for that is, I mean, as you know, I've come from a Honda Civic Type R FK2, you know, and that even had like an electronic steering, but the connection between the road and the steering was way superior to what I'm finding in my M140. So another thing that I don't like about my M140 are these dials. I mean, this is a facelift 1 edition, so therefore they don't come with the LCD dials, and I think that's quite a bit of a disappointment, because during the day they don't get like lit up, so when you're going through a bit of like an overcast, it's not dark enough outside for the lights to come on, but the inside with all the shadows, they just go like kind of dark, and you can't really see the speedo, you can't see the rev counter, and you know, I think that's quite disappointing when, like, you know, you're blasting through, like, say, a countryside, and you know, you might get like all those kind of overshadows. So that's quite annoying. Now I know they've rectified that with, like, say, the LCI2 where they're semi LCD anyway, so that kind of helps. And I guess, you know, that might have come through some kind of feedback or something like that, I don't know, but I'm a bit disappointed that my car doesn't have it, and I'm not really going to go out and buy an LCI2 just for that reason. So another disappointment with my M140i, and I'll probably speak out for most M140i owners out there, is that although the car is lower than your standard kind of M Sports and 120Ds and what have you, it's not as low as personally I would like it to be. Now I know there's loads of companies out there and there's loads of you know, kind of parts that you can get, spacers, suspension, drops and whatever, which will lower the car by 20-25 mil. But that is something that I just wish that the car came out of the factory with. I mean, the car obviously costs, you know, 30 odd K upwards anyway, so you'd kind of expect it to have that kind of a ride height. Personally, I think the ride height on this car is a little bit higher than what it should be, and I kind of think that kind of spoils the stance of the car, which is a word which we all love. So another thing that I'm a bit disappointed about this car is the lack of LSD. LSD, limited slip diff, would make this car perfect. When the back end kicks out of this car, it does become quite uncontrollable. I mean, you can't control it, but you know, they're tugging at the steering wheel. And with the LSD, you know, you would benefit by being able to control that drift all the way along. Now you can spec this car with an LSD, but it's going to cost you another $2,000 on top of what you paid for the car. But overall, you know, I am thoroughly impressed with like this car. You know, it does pretty much everything, you know, from a daily driver to a motorway stormer, you know, to, you know, lugging everything about. I think overall it's a good compromise, but with those few things that I've kind of mentioned, mechanical things, I mean the dials and everything, that's just my opinion, but with those mechanical things, the lowered ride height, the LSD, the you know, more direct steering, I guess, would make this car perfect. So guys, I hope you found this video entertaining. Like, share and subscribe to my channel for more content coming up over the next few weeks around M140i's, 240i's and some that are going to be JB4 tuned or JB Plus tuned against my stock M140i. And don't forget to turn on your notifications every time I upload a new video so you get notified. Cheers guys, hopefully I'll see you soon.